Men who are too into sports are a red flag. I said what I said. Lord, please do not let me end up on the wrong side of TikTok. But men who lack the impulse control to step away from sports like golf or football or things that they are just so obsessed with that they physically, like at dinner, have to be watching, or they can't really be a real human being unless they know what's happening with a bunch of dudes ramming each other all day. There's something wrong with you, because your frivolous pursuits have been encouraged by society at the cost of quality time with your family, and it's freaking weird. Can you imagine if a woman was at dinner and the whole family was sitting there and she was just like, I'm sorry, I have to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like, I can't make any real conversation with you until I figure out what Kim said to Courtney. They would have beaten it out of us, okay? For me, major red flag. And I tell this to all my girlfriends who are still single. If the dude is way too into sports, if he's like obsessed with golfing, like, okay, what do we have where we get to spend 8 hours outside with our don't say brunch is not a hobby. I'm talking about the amount of money and time that men spend playing golf, okay? And gaming, like adult male gamers. Talk about any activity where there's an inordinate amount of time and investment being put into it at the detriment of the family is freaking weird. It is just like, and then you guys are the leaders. Y'all are leading us. You guys, the ones who literally cannot like move your face away from a screen because two pretend teams. Like, don't get me wrong, I love basketball. I love the Knicks. I watch the games, but I'm not sitting there like an addict. Like, yeah, today is the TSU versus XLU versus DSU game. I'm sorry, I can't go to grandma's funeral. Shut the fuck up. Grow up.
Yes. It seems like definitely some satire in there, but hey, she was definitely for real. But shout out to the content creator. I appreciate her sharing, her opinion. A couple things she said, man. I like to try to break this down in a couple parts. The first thing is absolutely, I agree with her 1000%. Um, I have so many stories. I'll be trying not to bring too many personal stories in there, especially with family members and stuff. But let me say this, because I tell the story. My sister hate him. Anyway, one of her old boyfriends, we went to like a Hawks game. Me, my wife, my sister, and one of her old boyfriends. Bro was looking at the sports game while we watching a live game. Yeah, man, yeah. But anyway, that's the type of people I think she's talking about, man. Like, it not just like checking the scores, it's for other stuff, but like literally watching a whole another game while there's a live sports game going on. Listen, nah, we rocking like that. But I will say this: listen, everybody got their thing, man, and like I said, I understand what she's saying as far as like if that's what you totally obsessed with, but listen, women, y'all don't just harp on the men, right? As far as when it comes to sports, there's other things, gambling, and everybody has their vices. But hey, as a woman, y'all got y'all thing too. Like y'all be scrolling on social media, right? Looking who like my pictures, shopping. Y'all don't have to physically go anymore for 8 hours. How you were saying, like the dudes on his phone 8 hours looking at sports and stuff like that. But y'all definitely be on there looking at makeup tips. Y'all definitely looking at hairstyling, shopping, and just scrolling for 8, 10, 12 hours. So don't just jump on the guys about in particular, oh, he addicted to sports and that's a red flag. Shoot, the way y'all be going about it, like you said, oh, don't bring up brunch. You already knew who was gonna bring up brunch. There's a lot of stuff which y'all do, like going out with your girl, smoking hookah, clubbing, brunch, especially here in Atlanta, man. Every spot has a brunch attached to it. So, but one other thing I wanted to say to that is, hey, y'all picking these dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's a red flag in itself. The fact that you choosing that guy who you saying it's a red flag for him to be totally inside, and locked and obsessed in the game or whatever. Listen, there are women who dated dudes who only play video games all day, and their excuse is, well, he's not out cheating on me, right? Or he's constantly close to me. I know he's not doing anything he's supposed to not do, but you accept that, right? Because then when you get mad at him, he put down the game for a few minutes, give you some attention, and you satisfied, right? And then he gets to go back and play his video games for 8, 10 hours. Like I've always told, man, I made a video on this, like one of my first videos about dudes gaming, right? And just talking about how too many of y'all are obsessed with video games, man. And it really can tie to what she said, like being just obsessed with like sports and stuff like that as well. But if you're not on your purpose, man, if you're not, doing what you need to do in life first, you shouldn't be worried about what another man doing when it comes to like sports. You shouldn't be looking at his jersey and, what his stats are when you don't even know the own stats of your own life. What's your credit score, right? What's your weight, right? How much money you got in the bank? What's your budget, right? Um, how much you got saved in investments. Like, that's what you should be worried. What's your own personal stats in life versus the stats of any sports game or the stats on any video game that you got going on. But the same again goes for women as well. What's your stats of life? Not what's the newest trend on TikTok. Not that what's the new makeup line. Like, knowing everything about that. Like the new I don't know, Kim Kardashian skins or something like that. Like, y'all know all the Kardashian shows, what episode you can tell them on this. But that's what I'm saying. Like, round and round we go. Like, everybody has a thing to obsess with. But just don't, if you're gonna dish it out, make sure you can, take it too when it comes back your way. So that's what I would say, man. Like, and that's for most people, man. What I've learned, because I had to speak from my own personal experience. Like, when I wasn't locked in, it was easy to get distracted by the shiny object syndrome, about everything else going on in the world, man. And that's the one thing. And I try not for, in particular, like when it comes to my channel, I try not to get like political, right? But let me say this about it. There's a lot of people that, it don't matter what president in office, right? They have this victim mentality where it's like, oh, it's their fault that this is what's going on, in the country. But it's like, well, how does that affect your personal life every day, day to day? Right? Again, I've always been a firm believer, like whatever goes in your city, that affects you more than anything. Property tax, right? Insurance, what's going on with road building, what new businesses are coming into the area where they may get tax break incentives, but they raise taxes on y'all. What sploss are they passing for school systems and stuff like that? That's the stuff you need to worry about when it comes to what's happening in politics. But a lot of people, man, men and women, they get caught up in this victim mentality, like, oh, we is me, the government's doing this and that. But it's like, if you take control of your life every day and get out of this obsession of things that's outside of your control, that's where I'm going with this. Too many people obsessed with things they can't control. Like, you don't control the football team. You don't control, yeah, you can play the video game, but you can control the creation of it. You didn't control the creation of the makeup line. Like, do you need 50 different makeups? Do you need 50 different, I don't know, skincare items, perfumes, you know what I'm saying? Clothing. Like, a lot of us obsessed with things that's unnecessary. Except we need to be obsessed with controlling our own personal lives first. So that's really where I'm going with this, based off this video when she dishing it to men and saying they're obsessed and that's a red flag. Everybody has a red flag. If you're not obsessed with making yourself better, that's a red flag. A red flag is if you're not obsessed with making yourself better, that's when it's a red flag. So anyway, man, that's my take. Shout out to the content creator. Appreciate her sharing her opinion. And with that, if you got any value from this video, hit the like button. If it's your first time, go ahead and subscribe. And if you would need to share this video off somebody who need to hear this message, go ahead and share it out as well. With that, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.